Hello everybody, I'm here today to do a review of Flights by Olga Tokarczuk, which I just finished recently. And this is a very interesting book. So I have seen people describe it as short stories, and I understand why, but I think there is enough of a thread going through everything that is not exactly short stories, and I'm not a fan of short stories, so yeah, this is, for me, this doesn't compare to short stories because there is a thread. And what is this book about? This book starts by introducing the narrator, and the narrator is a woman that kind of has a bit of a vagabond life. So she goes from place to place. She doesn't really have a stable job or a stable place to live. She's just moving through her life, and that's the main theme of the book. It's movement through space, movement through time, movement through like the movement of blood through your body, the movement of you physically taking transport to go somewhere else, but also like the movement of technology. All of these things is just all about change and movement, and it is organized in little chapter spaces things, and each one explores kind of a different topic within different protagonists sometimes. So it's kind of this narrator randomly meets someone in an airport or a youth hostel or something like that, and then she tells the story, or sometimes she's in an airport and she's thinking about airports in general and the quirky things about it. There is a section about Wikipedia. It's very disjointed, but it somehow works. I don't know how it works, but somehow works. That everything is pieced together in a way in which it does make a statement about something. There is also a lot about bodies and death in this, because as I said, it's also about the movement of like the body in time and how we age, how we reach death, how things move inside our bodies. So yeah, there is a lot of things like that. It doesn't tend to be gory, but there is some details that might freak out some people, so I'm just putting that out there. But I didn't find it gory, and I don't have a high tolerance for that, so just be aware of that as well. So as you can imagine, in terms of plot, there is not really a plot, it's just thoughts. It's a very thought-based book, and I enjoyed that. I really found the thoughts very profound and very touching, and I think that she did a beautiful job with them. Also, sentence to sentence level, I think she did a great job. I mean, she's amazing. And I mean, I read the translated version. I don't speak Polish, so I could not speak much about the quality of the translation, but I have to say that earlier this year I read a book written by Jennifer Croft, which is a translator of this book, and I think the voices are very different. So I could only imagine that the beauty of the sentence to sentence level does come from Olga Tokarczuk, not from Jennifer Croft, because I think the writing on that novel that I read by Jennifer Croft was quite different. In any case, if you are reading the English version, it's beautiful. The way that it's written is absolutely beautiful. Another nice thing is, not a lot, but there is some images in it as well, and it's normally of maps. Things like this just randomly appear a few times. I think that's also because of the movement through space. And yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this. I think that it's not going to be for everybody because it's so disjointed and there is absolutely no plot, and it's just random thoughts coming to you. It's almost like you know, when sometimes you're with someone and they randomly tell you, have you ever thought about, I don't know, why birds fly? And then you start a conversation about that. It's more like that tone throughout the book, on things that the narrator talks about when she's traveling, and things that she notices when she's traveling. So if you don't like plotless, very reflective books, this is probably not going to be for you. And a lot of time when I was reading this, I was thinking about how it compares to other books by Olga Tokarczuk. I've read Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. Honestly, I didn't think much of it, and that hasn't stayed with me. But I also read the books of Jacob, and that has stayed with me, and it's quite different from this. I think the writing on that is equally beautiful, and there is also thoughts and musings that are equally insightful, I think, but that one has much more of a plot and characters. This one doesn't really have that much of character development either, and the books of Jacob has a lot more of that kind of thing, and a lot of more. It's a lot more grounded. This one is very airy, and the books of Jacob is a lot more grounded. So for me, I think that somehow this worked better because of I think this highlights the beauty of the language, and the insightfulness of the thoughts, and the books of Jacob is a lot more snarky and a lot more plotty, let's say, and that worked very well for me as well. But I think this one somehow worked better. But I think funnily enough, I think maybe the books of Jacob is a little bit more approachable. I mean, the Drive the Bones of the Dead is probably the most approachable one, but yeah, the books of Jacob is of course it's historical fiction about Poland, and I don't think a lot of people have a lot of background on that, so you also feel a little bit lost, but I think that one does have a more traditional structure, and that's why I think it's more approachable, even if it's 1,000 pages of Polish history. This one, I think it's probably not going to be for every reader, but I think if you love beautiful writing, this is probably an interesting book to pick up. I thoroughly enjoy it. I think it's, as I said, maybe my favorite Olga Tokarczuk so far. I'm not sure. I mean, the books of Jacob was also really good, but this one was really, really good. So yeah, I really enjoyed the experience. Let me know if you have read it, or if you have read anything else by Olga Tokarczuk. Let's talk in the comments, and until next video, bye!